Hi everyone, welcome to the Wednesday class. Actually the weather's turned a little bit cooler now, but the building's still quite warm because you may have heard in the news that we've had 2 days of extreme heat. Well, it's extreme heat by UK standards. So I'm going to run a poll in a minute when we get a few more people on the webinar to find out how hot it is where you are, because I thought we could have a chill out session today. We can explore how we can keep cool using energy work and regulate our body temperature. So I'm going to find out in a moment how hot it is with where you are. So I know you're from all over Europe. Sometimes we have people from America tuning in, depending on the time zones and everything. So just the room that you're in, I'm interested in, is it kind of warm? With the environment you're in, is it warm? And I'm going to run the poll right now. Just prepared it for you. Okay, how hot is it where you are? Let's find out. Very hot, hot, warm, okay, or cool? Let's find out. So look at that. We've had no votes for cool so far. Okay, look at this. As I just thought there is no way I want to be getting too warm and hot doing the exercises today. And I think it looks like we've got a majority verdict on there for that idea. So what I thought we'd do is we're right in the water element, as you know, as part of our epic 1-year journey around the Meridians. Just to remind you, I'll just run these slides. We're working our way around the Meridians circuit, the daily circuit. We started off in January at lung, which is the purple, and we've worked all the way around, and we're in the bladder area now, which is water. And water has a powerful energy, but it also has a cooling energy. So I thought what we would do is we can try and use the techniques today to develop our yin, because if the more yin we have, the more we can kind of stay calm and cool with everything. It's kind of a challenge with exercises because exercises tend to be a dynamic thing. They tend to move us. And if you watched the webinar last night on new energy work with Shakura and Basti, you'll know all about that because they did a lot of work on that last night. Okay, so cool. Let's just get this out of the way. And we will start. I've got my clipboard and pen ready to do my body scan. So I think what we'll do today is we'll find out whether our energy is generally up or generally down. That's going to be the poll I'm going to run. But let's do a body scan first and just get an idea of how we are. I'm going to do it standing up like this, okay? And let's just take a moment just to find out where we're at and how our energy is. We're going to take a nice slow and steady scan through our body, and then we'll take an overview and see whether our energy is generally up like this or down, and we'll link that with yin and yang, and we'll link it with the whole water element and the whole cooling and activity theme of today. Okay, so let's just do some scanning. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to close my eyes, take my attention internally. I'm going to scan down through, starting just above the head and working down through the head. Scanning through the cranium into the jaw, around the ears, into the eyes and the sinuses, the mouth, tongue, seeing what that's like, and then going down into the throat. And then down through into the chest area, the shoulders, the arms, down to the hands. And we're going to go down through the lungs and the heart area into the diaphragm, and then the abdominal area. Don't forget to scan also into your back as well, just tuning into your spine. and then down through the legs and the hips and into the feet. Okay, so let's turn that into a picture. I know what mine's going to look like already, to see how you are today. And also, just before we finish scanning, just check and see if your energy is generally moving upwards, or you're generally feeling like you're sinking downwards, or you feel kind of in the middle. And I'll run that poll once we've done our drawings. Okay, so just taking a moment to remind ourselves of the scan, the main areas there where we might feel any blockages or weaknesses in the body. Of course, as we're working, we can focus in on those individual areas as we're working along. Okay, cool. Okay, so hopefully you've got your whole body scan. And now we're just feeling about whether you're feeling kind of up, your energy's up or down. And we're going to, I'll find the poll, which is your energy up, down, or about right? I'm going to do that right now. Okay, here we go. Very much two up, about balanced, two down, two feeling heavy and grounded, and then very much too much down. And we'll see how that links, we'll make a link between what we get in this poll and what we're going to work on today in terms of working the bladder channel. We've got point of the week coming up. I'm really excited about that. It's one of the major points in the body. So we're going to be using that in a very particular way today. Okay, look, here we go. Congratulations to 21% of the feeling about balance. That's great. It must be the Wednesday classes. I give all credit to the Wednesday classes for that. But we've got maybe 40%, almost half of us are too up or too ungrounded or too hot. And that could link with the fact that it's so hot, because heat rises up the body, and it can be an emotional thing. Emotions particularly stagnate the liver. When that moves, it turns into heat, and you get this feeling of like anger or energy moving up the body. But also, it can just be when you get hot. Energy tends to move up, and we tend to lose our grounding, and it's the yin of the earth that we need to connect with to give us that kind of chilled out feeling. And for those of you, about a third of you are feeling too heavy and too grounded, then that's probably just because there's just too much yin there. You need a bit more boosting of the yang. And we've got exactly the right point for you that we're going to work on later as point of the week. And I'll explain that a little bit later on. Okay, so keep your water handy. Always good to have some water if it's very warm. And we're going to just start the exercises now. The aim of the exercise is to chill out as much as possible, to balance everything out, and to feel kind of harmonized between heaven and earth. So let's go. So if you remember, this month, we're working on the bladder channel, which runs from just between the eyes. It runs all the way down through this whole, kind of governs the whole spine, and it goes down through the legs, right down to the little toes. A super long meridian, and there are points on there that govern the nervous system, control the back, but also because the spine is part of the central channel, it's part of kind of like the microcosmic orbit, runs through the spine, through the front of the body. It's really important in terms of keeping our balance between heaven and earth. So we're going to be focusing in on that connection all the way through the session today, and just monitoring and seeing how we can work with our energy to kind of feel balanced above and below, and have that harmony all the way through the kind of chakra system in the body. Okay, cool. So let's go. We're going to keep the shaking to a minimum today, because shaking is quite an energetic thing. We want to keep nice and cool. So we're going to do kind of internal shaking. We're going to take the shaking right inside the body and be as specific as we can with it, so that we don't waste any energy. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is very individually just scan through your own energy field, your own body, and see where it is that you feel you need the most release. It could be anywhere in your body, and we're going to start micro movements, releasing any else attention. Okay, so I suggest you close your eyes. I'm going to close my eyes. Okay. I'm going to scan through. I've got my body scan drawing. I found the area that I'd like to release. And so now what we'll do is use micro movements. We're going to just start off with shaking so small you can hardly feel it. And as we breathe, as we are shaking that area with micro movements, we're breathing into that area, breathing out, and releasing. Okay, now we're going to keep those micro movements going, and we're going to just bring them through the whole body. So see if we can get the smallest possible shaking all the way through your body, focusing in on any areas that feel like they need to release. Okay, very good. Now keep the shaking going. And now we're going to use some directed shaking using the central channel and the heaven and earth connection. Okay, so those of you who feel too heavy and too too down with your energy, I'd like you to focus on the top of your head and imagine that shaking moving up towards the top of your head. Okay, and those of the majority of us who are feeling too up, probably because of the heat, we're going to focus our energy down towards famous Qi Gong, which we're going to work on in a moment. And we're going to use this as a way of releasing our energy downwards. Okay, so up, down, and if you're in the middle, just keep it neutral. And we're going to keep those micro movements going. And we're going to send them up, send the energy up or down, depending on where you need it. Okay, brilliant. And now once you feel that you're equalizing the heaven and earth connection, that's when we can start relaxing and balancing out the feeling of being lifted up from the top of the head and the sacrum and the hips relaxing, feeling the weight going down into the earth. Okay, a little bit more. Just keep focusing in. If you find that the area that you initially picked is released, and you can move on to your secondary area, just kind of scanning through, getting those micro movements to go into wherever you need them, and then direct them down or up, depending on whether you need your energy balanced out, up or down. Okay, and just let that come to a close. Okay, cool. Right, so one of the main ways we need to keep cool, to stop our energy going up too much, is to connect through Qi Gong. Qi Gong's a really balancing point, as we know, but it's essential for getting that whole body kind of calmer. So let's do it, everyone. I'm gonna get my chair, I've got it right here, ready. Excellent chance to take my socks off and get a bit of cool air around my feet. I hope you'd like to enjoy that too. Keeping myself hydrated, always a good idea. Okay, so here we go. Qi Gong, 1/3 of the distance down the midline of the foot. So it's right here. Okay, we're going to minimize the tapping today because tapping is more yang activity. If you feel you need it though, you can always do it. But I'm going to mainly use pressure today, which is more yin. And I'm going to do an energy technique here. I'm going to imagine energy coming from my fingers right into Qi Gong there. Okay, and I'm directing the energy from my fingers through into the foot and then imagining it going all the way up my leg, up this way, up the kidney channel and into the lower burner. Okay, so I'm directing it in, and you notice I'm doing it more internally, and that's the difference. Basically, using internal Qi Gong type breathing and things like that tends to be more yin, and obviously it's got less. We're using less physical energy. I'm going to give it a bit of a tap there just to get it going nice and relaxed, keep it relaxed as possible. There we go. So once I've got it tapped, I'm going to squeeze it in. And okay, now if you're feeling a bit angry and irritable, you may be interested to know, and this is a preview of the point of the week that we'll be doing in December, probably. Yeah, December this year. And that's liver 3. It's between these two bones here. And this is a really good point to tonify the liver yin. So basically, that's the cooling aspect of any irritability you might have, because heat does tend to affect the liver. That's why we recommend you don't drink too much alcohol when it's very hot. And if you do, plenty of ice, plenty of tonic water with your gin, and plenty of lemon, because they're all cooling aspects. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just massaging down, pressing down between these two metatarsals here, and this is helping the liver yin just cool off any liver heat. Excellent. Okay, a little bit more tapping. I'm just going to do a gentle tap and then press. Okay, excellent. Oh, that feels good. Okay, so the other foot, 1/3 of the distance. I think you can see I've been on the beach. I was on the beach last night at midnight. Believe it or not, I went for a swim at 11:30 last night because it was so hot where we live. I went back on the late train, and I think that's still from the beach that you can see on my foot there. Didn't come off in the shower. But it was wonderful to be in the sea, I tell you. Okay, so we're pressing in. And I'm going to put one finger over the other, and I'm going to direct my energy into that point. So if you're very still and you focus your energy through your fingertips, you may be able to feel it creeping up your leg, the energy up your leg and into the lower burner. If you can, that's great. You're opening up that kidney channel. If you're not quite sure, just wiggle around it. I'm actually going up a little bit higher there. You'll know when you've got it because you'll feel that connection in the foot and possibly up the leg and into the lower burner. There we go. Okay, I'm stretching out. And let's give that liver 3 area. Remember, between this first and second metatarsals here, just going to massage that area and cool that liver heat by tonifying the liver yin. Always a good idea. So just going to do that for a bit. Give it a little bit of a tap on kidney 1 if you feel like it. Keep it nice and chilled out, relaxed. I'm going to do that. I might have to just leave my socks off. I don't know about you. I think I'm going to leave my socks off and just see if I can get that kidney 1 connecting directly to the earth. Let's see what it's like. Oh yeah, this is the first time definitely on the New Energy Work and Shiatsu College Norwich Wednesday class that we've had bare feet, everyone. It's an indication of changing climate. Let's just see what that feels like. Okay, very nice. Can you feel that? That general feeling of energy sinking down, being connected to the earth, that's what we need. So I'm feeling a lot cooler already, okay? I'm just going to keep those feet open. Okay, now normally we would tap up the kidney meridian, wouldn't we? But let's not do that today. Let's see if we can do it purely with energy work, moving the yin from the earth up into the lower burner. We're going to do that by holding our hands here over the dantian. I'm going to use it by visualizing, opening up kidney 1, feeling that nice calming, earthing connection right the way down into the earth. Now, just focusing on kidney 1 has a cooling effect. That's because it's the most yin tonifying point in the body. Okay, we're not going to rub here because that's too yang. We're going to just hold. We're going to open up kidney 1 and internally imagine we've got coolness from the earth going through kidney 1, up the legs and into the dantian. And we want to imagine it going right through into the lower back here. So let's do it together. We're going to use the breath We bring the breath in, imagine it like cool air coming in down into this lower part here. And then let's emphasize the exhalation just to regulate the nervous system. So here we go, breathing in, down into dantian, and breathing out. Very good. Keeping our awareness on kidney 1. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, now we're going to go up one step to a more advanced internal Qi Gong style visualized breathing exercise, and we are going to literally bring Earth's yin energy up from the earth through kidney 1, and we're going to bring it into the lower burner. And here's how we're going to do it, okay? Keeping nice and relaxed, keeping kidney 1 open, placing your hands on the dantian. Now, make sure that you keep your hand slightly lower down, because that's the gate of origin, that's the yin part of the lower dantian. The CV6 is more the yang, so you want to keep it a little bit lower than normal. That emphasizes the yin. We're going to open up kidney 1 by stretching and wiggling our feet, floating our head up, relaxing the sacrum down. So I'm just dropping the sacrum and softening here. Okay, and we're all ready now, and here we go. So what we're going to do is we are going to breathe in, and we're going to, as we breathe in, we imagine cool energy coming up through kidney 1 into this CV4 point here, just midway, kind of just below CV6. It's around here on the front of the body. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so here we go, relaxing, opening up the armpits, floating the head up. Breathe in, draw the yin up from the earth through kidney 1. Imagine it like a cool liquid, like watering the plants coming up. Okay, and we're going to hold the breath. We're breathing out, and we send the Qi down through kidney 1 and into the earth like a root going down. Excellent. Okay, here we go. Again, breathing in, holding it, breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, got it. So that's just, we notice how that kind of cools everything off. It's kind of really calming. We're using that connection with the yin. In fact, it's working so much, my feet are getting a bit cold. I'm going to put my socks back on in a minute. But you can feel that coolness coming into the whole body. Okay, excellent. So now, a little bit earlier than normal, I'm going to share point of the week, because point of the week is a very, very interesting point. And it's also one of the major points of the body. I'm just going to share the slide with you right here. Okay, and it's bladder 23. It's the kidney shu point. Now, what does that mean? That means it links directly with the kidney energy, which dominates the lower back, and it goes through into the front of the dantian. And connected to that, of course, is kidney 1. Now, look, why it's such a good point is it tonifies the yang, which is the warming, moving aspects of the body. It benefits the essence, that's our underlying energy, but it also, look at this, nourishes the yin. So if we can use it in that way, we can actually use bladder 23, Shen Shu, to cool the body, okay? It's also used to treat the lower back and stuff like that. So it's a really, really great point. Okay, so I thought we'd continue with the theme of working the body. Bladder 23 is a very homeostatic point, which means if you need to yang tonified, it will do that. And if you need the yin tonified, it will do that too. My feet are actually too cold now. I can't believe how well that's worked. It's just such an incredible exercise. I think I've got all the coolness of the earth coming right through kidney 1. Okay, so I put my socks back on, that's better. Okay, so now let's see if we can use bladder 23 to continue the theme of increasing that yin in the body. Now, to do that, what we need to do is do it quite internally. We need to have that connection with the earth, okay, and avoid any physical movement. You might find that you can just hold the point like this, okay. Backs of the hands works well. And we can do a slight movement here with the backs of the hands to stimulate the point. We're going to do it very, very slowly, any movement though, because we want to keep that yin tonifying aspect. So here we go. First of all, standing, head floating up, feet connecting with the earth. Becoming aware of kidney 1. Becoming aware of that energy in our hands, making a loose fist, and connecting, hoping that your shoulders are okay with this, that you can connect with bladder 23. I've got my hands right in the middle of the lumbar area here. Okay, so now let's see if we can use bladder 23 to tonify our yin. And the way we're going to do that is by directing the energy downwards through the sacrum, down the bladder channel, and down into bladder 60, which is right at the end of the bladder, or bladder 67 actually, right at the end of the bladder channel. Okay, so let's do that together. We're going to do it with the breathing. Nice, easy breathing into the lower burner here. Very slow and relaxed rotations. Relaxing the sacrum. That's here. Relaxing the hips. Opening the knees. Opening the ankles. And then feeling the connection all the way down into the feet. Very good. Okay, so now just linking it with the kidney 1 exercise. Going to do the same thing we did before. Remember, with our socks off. That I did with my socks off. I'm going to keep them on now. Is we're opening kidney 1. We're breathing in. We're bringing the earth's energy, cool energy, up through the legs into the dantian, and we're spreading it out so that it connects with bladder 23. Okay, so we're bringing the energy, cool, like energy up into the dantian and through here, and this point will help bring it into the spine. Our camera's got a bit hot, it just needs to focus in on us. There we go. Nice and slow and relaxed, connecting with the earth. Okay, and shaking out. Excellent. So let's just check in here and just see how chilled we are, everyone. I don't know about you, but my feet are still pretty cold from earlier on. Feeling a nice cool feeling in the lower abdomen here, a nice feeling connection with the earth. Okay, so let's move up to the middle burner and the upper burner and continue with our theme of chilling out. Okay, so one of the things that can happen is we can get heat in the liver, as I mentioned earlier. Good job we worked with liver 3. That's already started to cool off this whole middle burner here. But what we can do now is we can use some gentle internal movement to open up the middle burner and make sure there's no heat there. Okay, so what we're going to do is a combination of internal movements, and then we're going to stroke down the channels to get rid of any excess heat that might be released. Okay, rather than tapping. Let's see how it works out. So again, we're going to build on every stage as we work the whole session. So let's keep going with kidney 1 opening up. Let's keep going with the head floating up. Let's keep going with relaxing the shoulders. Let's keep going with bringing the breath into the lower abdomen and also bringing it into the yin tonifying aspect of bladder 23. Okay, so keeping that internal landscape like that. We're now going to bring our awareness up into the middle burner, and we're going to do a nice easy stretching movement like this. Notice I'm moving my weight onto the back foot. It's a variation of the side stretch that we do often on a Wednesday class. And you notice what we're doing here is we're bringing the weight into this leg that emphasizes the connection with the yin, and we're using this to flexibility in the middle burner. Nice and easy, relaxing, breathing, connecting with the earth. And we're focusing on relaxing the middle burner. Okay, just a little bit longer, nice and easy, again, keeping it nice and internal. So we're focusing on how it feels as we're breathing internally, keeping that internal connection with the earth. Just giving your middle burner a little bit of space there to move smoothly, and just releasing any stagnation there that might be causing any extra heat in the body. Okay, excellent. Okay, so just to make sure that we get any movement, now if you just tune into your middle burner, you might feel it a little bit jammed up, like there's been a bit of movement there. That's the middle burner around here. If that's the case, that can easily turn into heat. So let's use some stroking movements and some Qi movements to get any heat that we've generated here down back into the earth, back into the coolness of the earth. Okay, so let's do that with the stomach meridian first. I'm going to place my hands on the stomach channel. I'm rubbing downwards, stroking down the outside of the legs, nice and slowly down, and then out through the feet. Okay, and we're stroking down, out through the feet. Now, if you follow the stomach channel down like this, and we go down into the gap between the joining point between the second and the third toes, so I can show you exactly where that is. We've got stomach 44. The reason I'm mentioning it is because that's a very cooling point for the stomach meridian. So it's right here. It's right here. So as you stroke down, if you go down to that point there, you'll find that you can just get rid of any excess heat in the channel. That's one of the functions of stomach 44. So we're stroking down, going down onto the foot and just pressing and kind of squeezing along that second toe. And squeezing down. Okay, and that would be really good for any heat that you've got in the stomach channel. Okay, wow, that's really good. Okay, first really nice and smooth and cool there. And we can do the same thing with the liver. We've already worked the liver a bit, but the liver channel is down the middle, inside the legs. So that goes down this way, down, and then between the second and third metatarsals and off. Okay, remember liver 3 helps with liver heat, tonifies the liver yin. So we're getting down, stroking down, and squeeze any heat down the liver channel and out through the second, between the second and third toe, and the actual channel runs down on the inside of the big toe. Okay, let's do it one more time. Great, and then in gallbladder heat, we're just going to do a little bit of massaging here, right in gallbladder 30, just to see if there's any tension there. And then again, squeezing the heat down the channel and out to the second to the little toes where it goes. Stroking down, second to little toe. Okay, very good. So let's just see what that's done. I'm going to go back again. Don't forget to drink water. I'm going to keep my water near me. Okay, let's see what that's done now. What we should have is a nice cool feeling in the feet, a nice relaxed feeling in the lower burner. And now let's just see if we've created a bit of space here. I've definitely got the nice cool space right around the middle burner. Really nice. Which just leaves us with the upper burner. And I've got a secret thing to share with you, which is the points around the elbow are used to cool the upper burner. All the points around the elbow, we've got heart protector point, we've got large intestines point, we've got heart point. Basically, the whole elbow is used as a cooling, all those points have a cooling action. So what we can do is we can do some self-shiatsu techniques and just see if we can get a nice feeling of space and coolness in the upper burner. Okay, so let's do some nice easy stretches first of all, just to open up the channels, keeping it all very cool and keeping it really grounded and open in the lower and middle burners. So we're going to open up kidney 1. We're going to bring the hands up into the lung channel stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, stretch backwards, and open up the lung channel, nice and easy. Okay, now that just even create a little bit of heat for me, just doing that stretch. We've got to be a bit careful. We better get them with those elbow points as soon as we can. Okay, let's try the heart protector stretch. That's this one, breathing in, breathing out. That's a bit more neutral for me. I don't know how you found that. And then the heart stretch, we can breathe in, breathe out, and open up the armpits and stretch back. Very good. Okay, so now let's see if we can chill out the upper burner. And in fact, some of the points are usually even just general heat in the body. They're all around the elbow, and I'm going to just show you some of them and how we work. And what we're going to do is we're going to work from the elbow out towards the hands and then move out towards the hands like this. And see if we can connect that with the upper burner. Okay, so a nice close up here. And we've got heart protector point right in the middle here. We've got heart 3 right there, which is another point. We've got lung 5, which is just by this tendon here. You can feel this tendon twanging there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use some self-shiatsu, some visualization, and see if we can chill out that upper burner, just like we've done the lower and the middle burner. Okay, so let's try it first of all with lung 5. So we're going to just gently press into lung 5, just to remind you where it is. It's just on the elbow crease, just where this, just on the outside of this tendon, lateral side of the tendon here. You can feel this tendon. It's right in there. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart, keeping nicely connected to the earth. And gently press in. This is a good way to hold lung 5 when you're doing it on your own, like that. The thumb kind of goes right in there. Okay, so let's internally connect this with the lungs inside the body. Gently pressing in and imagining nice, cool, spacious feeling in the lung. And then we're going to work down the lung channel, which is along here. We're aiming towards the thumb. There we are. And then down to the thumb. Yes, it's lung 5. Holding. And then working down. You find any places that just give you a nice cool feeling in the lungs. I've got one right there. We can focus in on that. Make the most of it. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's try the other side. Okay, there we are. That's my lung 5 right there. Working down. Keeping nice connection with the upper burner. Down to the thumb. Keeping it nice and cool. And up. Okay, now we've stimulated the points. We should be able to use a minimal visualization here. activating the points right the way down to the thumb. So focusing in on the elbows and then breathing in, breathing out, stretching the thumb out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, super cooling in the upper heater there. And we can extend that by using the fire element, meridians. Again, the points around the elbow are cooling. So let's focus in on this heart protector point right in the elbow crease there, right in the middle. And we're going to do some self shiatsu all the way down. We're aiming for this middle finger here. Right the way down between these tendons, keeping it really calm, feeling any action that we can feel in the chest area, in the upper heater. Okay, and we go here. And looking down. This is the heart protector channel. Which we'll be getting onto a little bit later on in the year. Let's do that one more time. Focusing in on the effect on the upper heater. Nice calming points. A lot of these are very useful for calming emotions. We've got parasympathetic anxiety there. That's a really important point for calming emotions right in the center of the palm there. And down. Okay, good. One more time. Very good. And then the other side, middle of the arm, going down. You might be wondering, why are we doing the more from the elbow downwards? That's because basically these are cooling and calming points and they connect with the internal organs really well and with the emotions really well. So particularly good points. Comes with anxiety. Okay, that's it. I'm feeling the connection all the time between the points and the upper burner. Excellent. Okay, so let's just do this stretch again. We'll just check in and see how we're doing. So breathing in, breathing out, feeling the connection between those points in the hand and particularly the elbows, opening up the elbows, breathing out, feeling a nice cool feeling in the upper heater. There we go. Okay, this really works. So now let's go for heart 3. This is another cooling point. It's show you where it is. You may remember from when we did it as point of the week. You take this elbow crease here, and at the end of the elbow crease, you'll find there's like a little indentation there, just by this bone here, just inside this bone. Okay, and that's where that heart 3 is. And we're going to go down towards the little finger. You can't really miss it. Go all the way down here and then to here. Okay, so taking that as the first point, let's see if we can chill out the upper heat even more. Nice and easy. Just remind ourselves about kidney 1 every now and then. Keep that connection with the earth. Keep the continuity and keep the connections going. And we've got heart 7, one of the most important points in the body for calming the mind, right on the wrist crease here. And then we get down to heart 9 here. Okay, very good. Just brushing off, straighten down. And then let's just do it one more time on that side. Heart 3. Down we go. Feeling a connection with the upper heater all the while as we do it. Feeling that connection. And then up to heart 9, straight. Crazy. Okay, so now the other side. This is where heart 3 is here. Again, feeling that connection with the upper heater. There we are. And then we're going to go down towards the little finger, like we did before. All the time connecting with the upper heater. There we are. That's heart 7, lovely point. Nice and slowly into heart 9. Heart 9 is around the little finger. So there we go, back. Find heart 3 again. There we go. Okay, excellent. So let's see if we can feel that cooling action. Now we've opened those points up on the upper heater through the heart channel. Here we go. Feet shoulder width apart, hands in the prayer position, bringing them up. Now look at this. We can open the elbows up. That opens up heart 3. Take a nice easy breath in. And then breathe out. And cool off that upper burner. Wonderful. Okay, excellent. So now we can put the whole thing together. We do need to do just a bit of work on the yang channels in the head, and I suggest what we do is to do that nice and slowly, again, stimulating the yin. So let's do that. Let's work by pressing around here and pressing the bladder channel, which is the themed channel of the month. I'm pressing around from bladder 1, which is here. Get closer for you. So bladder 1 is here. This is bladder channel right around the top, and we're getting towards the famous bladder 10 we did last week. Okay, excellent. Remember, cellular pillar, that's the point right at the back of the neck. That's this one here. And the direction is inwards like this. Okay, so I suggest we do this with hold here and squeeze in. That's the bladder channel on the back of the neck. Very good. Okay, excellent. So now let's do some nice easy stretches integrating the bladder meridian. We're just going to do a real simple stretch. We did this last week as before, the same as before. Again, rather than tapping, what we're going to do is we're going to use a nice cooling internal movement. Bending down, breathing in, coming back up, and stretching backwards, okay? We've got our bladder 23. We've got our kidney 1 activated, keeping us nice and grounded. And we're going to just literally just relax forwards. And as we do that, we're opening up the spine. You'll feel bladder 10 opening up here. And then we're going to breathe in. Okay, now the trick is here is not to compress the back, but to lift the head upwards like this, so that the spine opens this way, not like that. Okay, I'll just explain it like. So you've got the vertebrae like this, okay? When you stretch backwards, you don't want this to happen. You want it to open out this way. And the way we can do that is by imagining the vertebrae opening out this way as we go back, and you'll feel a subtle but very important change in the way that this is stretched. Okay, so breathing in, lifting the head up, breathing in, breathing out, stretching back nice and easily, opening and lifting and separating the spine. Then breathing in, coming forwards, breathing out and floating down. And then once we're down, again, imagine the anterior part of the spine, that's the part of the spine that's inside your body. Imagine that opening this way and creating space. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. That's it. Breathing in. And breathing out. Lift the head up. Open up the spine. Breathing in. And breathing out. We just imagine we're floating down through water here, just floating down. And then hanging and relaxing. And then let's check out and see how we're doing. Okay, we've just got a few minutes left to put it all together. Bit more water. And here we are, we're going to put it all together, remembering that kidney 1 is our connection with the earth, the yin of the earth. We need that to keep cool. Head floats up. We're going to open up the kidney channel. We're allowing the earth's energy to come up into the dantian and into point of the week, which is bladder 23, the kidney shoot point, or kidney U point, it's sometimes called, in the back. Okay. So let's just revise that, okay, for now. Just holding. We're just going to place our hands on bladder 23. And we're going to connect down through the back of the legs, down into the heel and down into the little toe. Feeling that connection with Earth's energy. That's the yin aspect of bladder 23. That's a lovely feeling, isn't it? Okay, got that? And now if we come back, we place our hands on the lower dantian and connect in with the Ming Men there, lower burner. Now connect that through kidney 1 and imagine a cool connection down into the earth. Okay, lovely. And now we've got the middle burner, just checking how that is. Nice and cool, hopefully. Mine is really quite cold actually. I overdid it with the stroking, okay? And then just to remind ourselves, stroking down the stomach channel, down to stomach 44 between the second and third toe. Stroking down the liver channel into liver 3. And then off down to the big toe. Stroking down the gallbladder channel, down to the second little toe. Okay, and those points on the feet are often used again to reduce heat in the body, connect us with the earth. So now we're just going to feel that internally, relaxing, feeling the connection between the middle burner and the earth. Very nice. Okay. And now, upper burner, elbows, elbows, elbows. Ready? We're going to do this. We're rotating the elbows, getting in touch with those points around the elbows. And then we're going to go into a nice lung stretch, focusing in on the elbow, sending our energy from the elbow down into the thumb. There we go, and that will cool off the upper burner. Beautiful, okay? Releasing the elbows, focusing in on the heart protector, connecting the upper burner with the elbows and out into the hands. Elbows, prayer position, releasing the elbows, breathing in, breathing out. Opening the elbows a little bit this way, we'll open up heart 3, which is one of the most cooling points actually for the upper heater. Okay, and that's our exercise for chilling out the lower burner, kidney 1, bladder 23, chilling out the middle burner if that's where you've got heat, twisting, remember, stroking down, using those points on the toes to expel the heat down the channel, and then the elbow connection with the hands, stretching, working to cool off the upper burner. So it's a mega chill out session, and all we need to do now is connect heaven and earth, which we've got just 4 minutes left to do, and that's going to be absolutely just as much time as we need. And we're going to do that by using this Tai Chi breathing thing again. Great way to connect the central channel. Head top floating upwards, sacrum relaxed and connecting downwards. Feel that coolness right through the whole core of your body. Feeling the connection with the earth, floating the head up. Brilliant. Okay, so we'll just do 5 breaths and we'll just focus it in different ways. So here we go. First breath is we make ourselves heavy, we sink down into the earth. Breathe in, we breathe out, and we push up from the legs. Okay, that connects us with the yin. Second breath, we connect up with the heavens energy, we make ourselves light, we float down, and we pull up from the head top. Okay, third breath, we connect both of those things. So we feel heavy, we go down, we float up, we turn ourselves light, and we float up. Okay, we've got 2 breaths just to balance the whole thing. Just do whatever you need to do to balance out your own energy, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Okay, let's just do one more for luck. Breathing in. Really relax, feeling the coolness in the core of our body, breathing out. Okay, how about that? The most chilled out Wednesday class so far in the 2 and a bit years we've been doing it. I hope you enjoyed that. That's something I really needed, I tell you. Okay, great. There we are. You see how we use the points, the internal aspects. Okay, hey, wait a minute. We've got a question. Hang on a minute. Could I please ask for the slide to be put up again, please? I just had to go past the door. Okay, Mary, which slide would that have been, I wonder? Was that the Bladder 23? Or was it, I'll go back into the chat. Mary, was that Bladder 23 or was it the, let's see. Point of the week. Okay, sure, yeah. Here we go. Bladder 23. Point of the week. There we are. Bladder 23. It's right between the 2nd and 3rd lumbar vertebrae. Okay. And it's, yeah, you can Google it and find out exactly where it is. And that's the main functions. Okay. Wow, good. I've never felt my feet so cold at all. Thank you, Basti, for your work on the chat. And it's really linked with what you were doing last night on the New Energy Work webinars. So yeah, that's it. Have a nice, cool week. And we'll see you next Wednesday for our continuation of our journey down the bladder channel. Yeah, it's lovely to see you all. Okay, cool. We've got to go. It's 11 o'clock. We've got a client coming. See you later.